Hey everyone, happy Friday. Yay, it's Friday. Although I want to be careful that I don't cheer that too loud because everyone's like, well, do you hate your job that much? I just want, yeah, a longer story. Anyway, I hope you guys had a wonderful week and you are preparing for an amazing weekend, some downtime. Hopefully, a lot of us, especially in my influence builder group here, I know we work weekends, so we work a lot. so, but I hope you do get the downtime because that's important in business as well. And I absolutely need to hear it for myself when I say that. So I'm going to give you guys some really good tips here this Friday in case you are like a lot of us and you're on the entrepreneurial journey and you're working during the weekend or in between soccer games and basketball and all the fun stuff that's happening with Halloween. I know we're going to do some fun Halloween stuff this weekend. If you guys want to tell me what you're doing for Halloween stuff, I'd love to hear. And I'll leave you guys a couple of comments on what we're going to do this weekend for Halloween. That's super, super fun. In fact, we started doing some stuff with my neighborhood this week, and I never had even heard of these little things that they do. It's called getting booed in a good way. Like boo. And what happens is that one of the neighbors will drop a gift basket and a note that says you are booed. Now you get to return the favor, and they drop a gift basket with candies in it. Some of them dropped baskets with socks and little necklaces for because they're our neighbors, so they know that we have three girls and they like necklaces. So it was just really, really a fun way of doing Halloween is getting booed. And then once you receive the basket, then you go ahead and you do two baskets to two neighbors so that it gets around the whole neighborhood. So that was really fun. But yeah, if you guys have fun Halloween stories like that, I'd love to hear them. There's all these amazing things that um, we can do in the holidays rather than what is normally done. So I love to hear all of those and then maybe I'll even use some of them. So anyway, back to what we're supposed to be talking about because I know you guys want to hear about how to do some organic marketing. So with organic marketing, there's a couple different things, right? I'm going to teach you more of the social aspect of organic marketing because that does seem to do really well for people. It doesn't matter what type of business you have. Getting out there and being social with your marketing and being more hands-on is a phenomenal way to bring in clients. And that's the whole point is that if we're going to do this marketing, we want to do it so that we're bringing in clients. And this does help move people over to that sales process much more quickly. So, how do we do that? Well, one of the first things that you guys want to do is that you don't want to come out the door selling when you're doing the organic. So, and it's not that there's nothing wrong with doing experiments. So I tell everyone and like go ahead and do experiments, see if it works, see how much time it takes you to run the experiment and then see if that is not only sustainable, but that it is something that you feel good about. And that's always good information to have. So, one of the things that I'm seeing done, and we've tested it somewhat, we've tested a different variation of it, is just going out and having and connecting with those on DMs, right? So, do this on Instagram, we can do this on Facebook, we can do this on LinkedIn, and that cold message to them it has to be a friendly one where we're acknowledging some of the things that they're doing really well, right? Or some of the things that we like that they're doing, or even thank you for connecting. This is why I really connected with you because I found this fascinating. So that's kind of the thing that is working really, really well. And what it shows is that it shows one that you went and looked at their profile so that they know that wow, they went and checked me out and two, that they don't have to answer any questions or say this is what I do because some people say what is it that you do in the world, and I do it too sometimes, but I usually do it when somebody connects to me and they message me, so I'll ask them what is it that you do in the world because they're the ones that reach out to me and I just want to get be friendly with a conversation and get it going, but I don't necessarily want to go over and check things out, especially if they're DMing me. So if you're the one that's initiating the conversation, you do want to know what they're doing and you do want to tell them why you reached out to them in the first place. But before you do that, because this is I mean, everybody knows that DMing, getting conversations going is really good. What they may not know is that it's really hard to do that cold, even if you're doing the steps I just gave you. So before that, do this, right? So I know, should I have started with it? Maybe, but I like to have a little fun. So before you reach out in the DMs, here's what you want to do. You actually want to go and engage with them outside of the DM. So if you're the one that connected, like so we'll use LinkedIn for an example. If you're the one that connected with them before you go to the DMs, why don't you go and see what they've written for articles? So one, what they've written for articles, two, what they've written for posts, and three, who they follow for influencers. This is on LinkedIn specifically, and also what businesses they follow. And then if it's a mutual interest, meaning that you like those influencers or you also like those companies, then follow them yourself. So first and foremost, go and follow the same influencers. If it resonates, don't just do it to say that you want to do it. Do it because you like those influencers and you like those companies. And then that's just another way of getting in front of them. So it shows mutual interest. I am telling you guys to do it only if it's authentic. I don't want to tell you just to go and do it because then you're going to have conversations on something you don't really like. And it's really hard to fake. Well, so for some of us, for me, it's really hard to fake I like something when I don't like something. It is what it is. So I never recommend it because I don't do it myself. So again, influencers that you like, companies that you like, that they're also following. So you guys can have something to talk about, right? We want to talk to these guys. We want to talk to them and want to be authentic. We don't want to be caught with the proverbial pants down when they're asking us questions that we really don't have an interest in or don't know anything about. Because people's BS meter is getting really good online. So that's the thing with that piece. Now, posts and articles. Here's what I also recommend. Go through their posts and see if it's something that you can comment on or that you can contribute to. So it's authentic again. I'm not going to tell you guys just do it. Just go and do it. And here are the numbers. It's a numbers game. It's not. It's not always a numbers game. Sometimes it's just the intention behind what it is that you're doing. And if you're looking to connect with somebody because you're really interested in them and you're really interested in what they're posting, it does come across in those words. See, words have energy behind them. How you say them, the intention behind them, it will translate. It will. So posts, if there's one that you find that you're really interested in or that you can add to or that you want to share, it may even be that good that you want to share it, then go and do that. So not everybody's going to have a ton of posts out there. They may not, which is why I'll revert back to the first thing I told you if they don't. So that's the first thing. Go and see if they have articles. Read their articles, get interested in a piece of the article, and then comment on it or share it and say, this is what I learned from these people. That's how you're going to do some of this marketing. And it seems really passive, but it does make a big difference. So if you're sharing something of someone else's that you want to get to know more, and you're making a comment like, I really enjoyed this article because XYZ, then people will see that. They really see it on LinkedIn because it's rare to get things shared that much. And then you can see who shared what and what they said. So that is what you want to do. Now, because LinkedIn is still developing its creator content, its creators, they have a lot of them, but they're really setting the platform up for your creators. The next thing you may be wondering is like, well, what if they don't have any posts? What if they don't have any articles? What do I do then? So what you do then, and hopefully you did this before, you go and see what the influencers and the companies are posting. Now, it doesn't mean that the person that you're interested in connecting with has to have liked that post or has to have commented on that post. It's not about that. It's about going and liking the post that you like from that influencer or that company and even writing something on it and or sharing it to your profile. So it's establishing in a very indirect way relatability. So that's the first thing. And then once you have started to write underneath those influencers and those company posts, some of your interests, a lot of times, if you have a mutual connection and if that connection also likes those influencers, then it will pop up in their feed on LinkedIn. So what happens when it pops up in their feed? They're going to see your name. They're going to see your name. They're going to see how you talk. They're going to see a little more about you. So those are the things that you want to do before you DM. And why do you want to do that? Well, you're hoping, and is it always the case? No, it's not always the case, but what you're hoping is that they see that you're invested. They see that you're invested in um them. So especially if you've written a comment or given them a like on their post and their articles and or their articles. So they see that you're invested, that you're interested, and then when you go to DM them, they already have they've already seen your name, they've already seen what you say, they've already seen that you've contributed um to their profile, to what they're doing in some way. So that tends to soften a DM when everyone is so guarded in the DMs. It softens them. It makes it an easier entry. So that is a really great way to do social marketing, which is just another form of organic hands-on marketing. And most people don't think because it's really subtle. So what I like to do with everybody is like, well, if you think about how people network, how they network in person versus how they network online, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it usually doesn't entail coming right up to them and asking for a sale. Very rarely does it. It very rarely ends up being you asking them, so what are you doing here when you're at a networking event? Because we're here to network, right? And it rarely entails you going right into a sales pitch, although I have been to those networking events where it has happened, right? So a lot of people are just like, well, if I need a client now, then I need to network and I need to put my products out there and I need to do this and I need to do this and I need to do this. And if you are only interested in the numbers game, sure, go ahead and keep doing those numbers. If you are trying to build something foundationally strong, so something foundational, and you like relationships and nurturing is important to you, then this type of marketing tends to be the best type of marketing for you. The establishing a relationship, the getting to know each other, and something beyond just the business helps a lot more when you're doing social marketing. So I highly recommend giving it a try and seeing how quickly it turns around. And a lot of people will think, well, it seems more time consuming. Um, and I like to tell people, I'm like, if you were to do this experiment where you try both. So, and I haven't done it yet because I'm more interested in the social marketing than I am in just coming out and doing the sales piece. It's just part of my personality. I'm not really a salesperson. I'm a marketing person. I'm a relationship person. So I haven't done this test, but if you guys are curious to see how you do, then here's how I would run this experiment. I would first and foremost run the coming out and doing sales and doing the numbers game, right? So, all right, if I talk to 10 people, then one of them is bound to do a sales call with me, right? Just straight out of the gate, want to jump on a call. This is what I do. See how many do. And like I said, this is an experiment for you. Some people may do really great with this. So what you're going to want for metrics is that you're going to want to understand how many people you need to talk to get one person on a sales call. Now, for some of you guys, it may take 20. For some of you really, really smooth talkers, it may take two. It may take two, but you do need to know those numbers. So run that experiment and see. The other thing that you want with that is that you want to see how many of these people turn into clients. So out of those sales calls, how many turn into clients, right? That's a good metric. The last metric is that, do you like those clients? Right? Are they ideal? And ideal can be that you like them, that you like working with them, that it's easy working with them. So those are three metrics. They take a little bit to get rolling and to have some consistency with, but you want to know those numbers. Then, if you're interested, run another experiment. And that other experiment is more of the relationship, the social marketing game. So with that, It doesn't have to necessarily be about the quantity, it's about the quality. So you pick people, you go and see what they're doing, you take a subtle approach with commenting on posts, with commenting on articles. And this can be for any platform. It doesn't just have to be LinkedIn. It just happens to be the one that I can explain more um, with details with the articles and the influencers. So do that, then get to know them in the DM. But when you come in the DM, make sure that you know what it is that they do and what they're about. You spent that time. And just see how that relationship can form if you just give it attention. And there will be opportunities for you to share what it is you do. So if they really are an ideal client, then you're going to know exactly what to share with them so that they're interested in learning more. And it's in a very laid back conversation. So there's no stress or pressure behind it. So do that. See how many people it takes when you do it that way to get on a sales call with you. You also may want to check how long it takes you. It may take several back and forths. But here's the thing, if you're able to get in front of 5 people who are aligned and you use these tactics and all 5 of them sign up for a sales call and all 5 of them close because you've already established that relationship, you may have won your experiment. And that's kind of what, and like I said, it just depends. Everybody's different. Like I said, some people do really good and they can be really direct. A lot of us need to respond in some way. So try it, see what works for you, see what feels good, but just know that establishing the connection into the sales process doesn't have to always start in the DM. In fact, it's the subtleties that can sometimes make the biggest difference. So I hope that helps. If I was to recommend you to run the experiments, I definitely would run the quantity over quality first, that one, and then run the quality over quantity second. If you don't want to do the experiment and the quality one makes the most sense, then start running it now. I always like to say, just know your numbers. Make sure that you're writing down notes, that you have an Excel, that you said, this is who I reached out to, this is the outcomes that we had, and go from there. But I have seen a lot of success with this type of organic marketing, with this type of social marketing into a sales process. And it's part of how we do really well with sales because we're not salespeople. We're relationship people, we're marketing people. And by the time they get on a sales call with us, they've already been pretty warmed up via social marketing or the DMs or just the relationship build. So I hope that helps. And I also want to add there are ways to do this without it having to be always in the DM or always getting to know them on the profiles or by liking posts, by liking articles. There's a lot of different ways to do this and to really bring the human piece into automation. So this is one of the things that we are doing very, very well with our quizzes. So the quizzes can act as if it's a warm hug, as if it's a relationship build, but it's also centered around those ideal clients and what they need and how they think. And that's one of the big things that we're teaching. That's why our quizzes are doing so incredibly well, is because we're doing the relationship build before we're moving them into a sales process. And we're also segmenting them. We're segmenting them through the quiz and after the quiz. And then once the relationship has been built, once the curiosity has been built, then we start bringing them into the sales process. And when it's automated, when it's based on the experiments that we have run before, the conversations that we have run before, because they're all on purpose, then what happens is that our automations have more of a human aspect to them. They have actual real data and real conversation and real words in it that have worked extremely well in creating a trust bond with people. And we're just doing it in a digital automated way. So if you want to learn more about our quiz funnels and our quizzes, we do have an event coming up. But for now, I'm going to first give you our framework so you guys can see the pillars that we use. There's 4 of them, 4 pillars. and why our quizzes are so successful. You will have the opportunity to check out the event, which I highly recommend you do. There's only a few more days left to grab your ticket. It is going to be amazing. And you want to grab it sooner than later because the pre-work is coming out tonight. And also with the pre-work coming out tonight, if you haven't grabbed a strategy call with us, and I know we've got plenty of people here in Influence Builder that have joined the event, then you definitely want to jump on a strategy call with us so that we can talk about your quiz and get a good idea of what you're going to be creating with us over those 2 days. So I will drop all that underneath. I'll give you guys the free framework. All you have to do is sign up for it. And when you go and get the free framework, you're also going to have the ability to go and purchase your ticket if you want to, if it sounds good. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and go ahead and give me some comments on what you guys are doing for Halloween, because it is one of our favorite holidays here in the Clark House. So I hope you guys enjoy all the fun activities that are coming up for you, and we'll see you soon.